Hi, and welcome to What We Learned This Week, episode 12, where it might not matter, but we're going to do it anyway. Hello, Chalene.
Hello, Liz.
And welcome to the show.
Yes.
Everyone else. I mean, we're welcome to the show because we're already here.
Okay, good.
Yes.
I'm glad I'm welcome.
You are welcome. Today is your topic. I can't wait.
Yes. So I just wanted to ask you, have you done Miracle Morning today?
I did.
Okay.
The first half. Only.
Oh, boy.
And I did walk the dog for exercise. That was it. I
counts.
peter out by E. I'm stuck on save. Not savers.
So you just got to do reading and scribing.
Yeah.
My scribing does tend to taper off. I leave that out if I don't have time.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like I need it in my life. And again, if you're newer to the show and just popping in, checking us out. Hey, holla to you. And we decided on Fifth Wednesdays that we would talk about a challenge that we've been working on together. And a couple weeks ago, we gave a challenge to the public called Miracle Morning. Chalene found it and we've been working on it. And basically there's an acronym, SAVERS, SAVERS, and each letter stands for something, and you get up an hour early and get to work.
Yes.
Soul work.
Soul work. I really liked it.
It's been transformational.
I do feel guilty because I was reading the book and this lady had said that she did like 200 and no. It was like 800 days consecutive and she's never not done it in a day.
How many? That's like 3 years.
Yeah. And
That's
I
amazing.
thought, wow, I like that. But when you go on vacation and things like that.
Dude, weekends, I'm done. I don't know what the deal is. Like all my habits are gone on the weekend.
I give myself a little grace. Like on Saturday, I do it an hour later.
Good for you. I don't do anything.
You don't?
I eat popcorn. I eat all the things I don't do all week. I don't do savers. I don't exercise. Okay. I don't know.
I like
to check out, I guess.
I think that's okay.
I
give you permission.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I need some permission in my life once in a while, apparently.
I'm your girl. One of the things that I've been struggling with is the vision part, because I've been doing it in my mind.
Okay.
And it's like my 10-minute nap in between all my other things. I'll visualize for a second and then I just kind of zone out. I'm not a person that does that very well in my mind.
Okay.
I know
Are you
there's
a
some
visual
people
learner? I'm curious.
Yes.
Okay.
If I feel like if I can read something and instead of listening to it, I do get better, but I kind of need all of them.
Yeah.
All of those sensory,
especially if it's new, right?
Inputs. Yeah. Anyway, it's just been really hard for me to visualize and I always fear I'm doing it wrong. So I always want to do it right. And then I just get bogged down in these dumb details.
That's probably why I like that one the most. I'm like, there's no rules. I can do whatever I want. So I do lay in bed for 10 minutes and I'm like, let me just dream.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's fun.
Well, and I've heard about a vision board. And the first time I heard about a vision board was in The Secret. Did you watch that?
Nope.
Okay. Have you read it?
Heard of it.
So you know about it?
Know about it. Yep.
Okay. The Secret basically means whatever you dream up, you can bring to life, basically.
So kind of the manifestation in the universe idea, right?
Right.
Okay.
Except they make it sound like really mystical and smoky.
Like smoke and mirrors?
Not smoke and mirrors, but just like it's this huge secret that Benjamin Franklin knew about Thomas Edison.
Well, did they give formula? Is that why? Like, is there like this is how you do it, the best way to do it?
I don't remember that exactly. They had different people talk about different things that they do. And one guy, I remember very specifically, he was talking about this vision board that he had made, and he was sitting in his house, and I don't know if he was reminiscing.
Okay.
But he said that he pulled out this old vision board and it had this house on it. Mm-hmm. And that was the house he was living in.
What?
And he didn't remember that he'd put that on there.
Creepy.
And I just, at that point, I thought, oh, I really want a vision board.
Something very tangible.
Yes, that I can see and look at. And I've heard people doing it. When I see them all done, I think, oh my gosh, those are so cute. But I have no idea where to start.
Yeah, I honestly only think of a giant collage.
Yeah, like magazine pictures.
Isn't that all it? I mean, I remember doing stuff like that kind of as a kid, a youth in art class. Like, I want you to create this. I don't know. It was more like an identity piece we had to do, right? So it was all the magazine pieces that represent us and what we love and how we show up in the world. Although they didn't use that wording in 11th grade.
Oh, right.
Sure.
Back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Well, I like that. I think that's good. But I couldn't envision myself sitting down and cutting out pictures of a magazine at this age. I just felt like it was...
Dude, I don't even have any magazines. Do you?
Oh, you don't? Yeah.
Oh.
HGTV magazine.
Is that the only one you get?
Yeah, and then I get church magazines. I get lots of ads.
I get like my kids' lacrosse magazine. I think I got a Boy Scout one once. I was really good at having my yoga journal show up at my house.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't even know why that hasn't showed up anymore.
Oh, darn it.
Probably haven't paid that.
You need to look into that.
Probably should.
But I just tried to Google vision boards.
Oh my gosh, I'm really excited. Are you going to teach us about this today?
I am.
So I can go home and do one for myself that's not magazine clippings? Or maybe a little bit.
Well, you probably could find whatever pictures you want, but you probably do need some pictures.
Okay.
So I stumbled upon this woman who has a blog, and her name is Deanna Nabby. I hope I said it right. She has a blog called, I think it's Coffee with D.
Okay. D-E-E.
D-E-E.
Mm-hmm.
She had this whole workbook. It wasn't very many pages, but a workbook to how you put it together, and I loved it.
Wow.
A lot of it is intentional, sitting down, thinking about what you want.
Okay.
And thinking about what you've gotten already.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking about some of those things. But you can write it down. And I think for me, it should just come naturally. I should just know in the back of my mind everything that I want. And maybe I do, but
you have to unlock that, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And I didn't know how to do that.
Okay.
The first thing that she has you do, and you can download this from her website if you go to, it's morningcoffeewithd.com, and I'll include that in the show notes.
Perfect.
And I think you have to sign up for her newsletter, and then she'll send you a free copy of it. So no big deal.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the stuff is like that these days. So the first thing she wants you to do is write down your current accomplishments.
Oh, really?
And
I love that.
Yeah. Just for the current year. I guess this is, she kind of geared this toward the new year. If you're doing it in the
I was
new year.
really hoping last 10 years. I don't think I've done anything this year.
I think you'd be surprised because I thought that too.
Really?
Yeah. So I thought, okay, I'm going to do the last 12 months.
I got out of bed.
Before that.
Okay, sorry.
Well, I started a podcast. That's a big deal.
Okay, fine. Yeah, that's kind of a big deal.
I read some more self-help books. I was really proud of myself for that.
Yes, good stuff.
I redid my kitchen table.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah. So I think you'll look back and you'll start to unpeel some of those things that you've done. And that made me feel really good looking back and saying, oh, I have done more than just watched This Is Us,
Finished Brooklyn Nine-Nine for the 10th time.
Yeah, there you go. I've never seen it. I still need to watch that.
That's one of my favorite shows still. I love it.
I love that. I love that you love it. I'm going to have to do it.
I think we've talked about this, though. I have to, if I'm watching something in the evening, it has to be really funny. It has to be funny and silly based. I really have a hard time with serious. It's just
at nighttime or just anytime?
Okay, I have to think about this now. Probably mostly anytime even.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I can do serious if I'm in a serious mood or whatever. I don't know. Need my cry window. There was this woman I used to, I don't know, I watched her for 10 seconds and she was like, schedule yourself a good cry every week. Give yourself an hour or whatever. I don't think I could schedule my cries. They just show up. But anyways.
That's funny.
That's why I needed the funny stuff. I'm like, there's too much serious. I'm already serious.
True.
I don't need serious.
We were just talking about this earlier that Liz can cry really easily.
All the time.
And it's really hard for me to sometimes unlock. I mean, there's times that I get definitely more emotional than others. Mm-hmm. Like my husband was caught in an avalanche and he called me and he's like, I just got caught in an avalanche and I got out. And
oh my gosh.
I was like, oh, okay, great. And then I didn't cry and he was kind of upset by that. He's like, don't you care about me? And then I think it was a week later or something, I was watching Sister Act 2.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, not even that good of a movie. And tears are just streaming down my face. And my husband walked in and he's like, what are you doing? You're going to cry for Whoopi Goldberg and you won't cry for me.
You're like, honey, it was because of you I cried at Whoopi Goldberg.
It's like I just stored it all up.
Oh, geez.
So sometimes I think those serious
So you're
shows,
the one that needs to schedule it for an hour.
It unlocks it for me, I guess. And allows me to grieve in a appropriate manner, I guess. I don't know.
I like it. Keep
So,
the tissues handy when you invite Chalene over for a serious movie night.
Yeah. So I don't think I have them all in order, but I don't think it really matters.
It's awesome.
Yes. So the next one that I did was extra prompts to think about. And so she asked, what are you most proud of this year? What ideas or dreams did you turn into reality?
So after you reflect on what you have done, then you need to think about
a few more things. Yeah.
Okay.
What meaningful relationships or connections did you form?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I liked that. What new skill or knowledge did you learn or improve on this year? And what things or people brought you happiness or joy this year?
Oh my gosh, I love this reflection because how else do you look forward if you haven't acknowledged where you've come from?
Yeah, I was actually really proud of myself when I looked at some of the things that I'd come up with because I looked at that and thought, nothing,
Yeah, just you mentioning it, I have to really, I have to stop and really think, okay, what have I done?
Yeah, and I think you'll be surprised. I'm excited for you to try it because I think you'll be really proud of yourself. So I wrote those down and then she talked about areas for improvement. And I've always kind of thought of our lives balanced around a triangle of mental, physical, and spiritual areas for growth, or areas
Those
to be
are the
strong
primary.
in. Yeah. But
There's
she
more.
came up, there are more.
Oh, no.
It's from the University of New Hampshire. They came up with this thing called the Wellness Wheel.
Okay.
And she includes this in the little workbook. And it says, taking care of each dimension of the wellness wheel can help you become more aware of the interconnectedness of each dimension and how all aspects of your life contribute to feeling well, both physically and mentally. So I'm going to go through each one and we can kind of talk about it, if that's okay.
Yeah, that sounds great.
All right.
Can I have a visual too?
Yeah, sure.
Yay,
There's
for
my visual. Sorry
okay,
for the
perfect.
paper.
Nope, that's good.
The
you can
first
have it back.
one-
I just wanted to see.
Yeah. The first one that really was hard for me was environmental.
Okay.
I'm going to go over that one first because
Yeah, I'm super curious. What does this mean? Like
So-
the world we live in, recycling environmental?
that's kind of what I took it as at first, but here's what it says. Be aware of the interactions between the environment, community, and yourself, and behave in ways that care for each of these responsibly. So probably recycling. It could be something as simple as turning off the water while you're brushing your teeth. Something like that.
Well, it sounds like it's truly just being aware of everything. I mean, on a very literal level, though, too, your environment is where you sleep, eat, do all of that, too, right?
True.
Does she address that in any other place, or is it mostly...
No, this is kind of up to you.
Okay.
But the one I put is to get more sunshine, to kind of get outside more.
Oh, yeah.
Because
So
I do
important.
feel, we've talked about this before, is that being outside can kind of reset.
For sure. That's why in other places where the sun doesn't shine as much, it's such a big deal. They need, there's the sad lights, seasonal affect disorder. And I mean, it's a big deal if you don't get your vitamin D every day. In fact, 2 of my boys were born in Alaska.
Okay.
And
That's cool.
when you go home from the hospital, they send you home with vitamin D drops. from day one.
Really?
Yeah. And that's the only place I've ever had that experience because there's just not enough vitamin D up there.
Wow.
There's just not.
What
Get
are
your baby starting off?
Yeah, that's really interesting. What are natural sources of vitamin D? What did the Eskimos do?
Do
Do you know?
I'd have to Google it.
Milk?
I do not recall. No, see, milk is not natural.
Oh, yeah, it's
That's
fortified.
why it's fortified. I want to say that it's probably vegetables and fish. All the things that we're
Probably.
just not always very good at eating.
Yeah, that's
Right?
true.
Like if you stick to the standard American diet that they always call it.
Okay, that's really interesting. So I don't know if that's where she was thinking of going with that, but I thought utilizing what is in my environment to help me to be healthy
Yeah.
probably counts,
No,
right?
that's perfect. And that's what you feel connected to. That's what you feel drawn to. So if that's
Yeah.
what you feel drawn to, then that's what it is for you.
Okay, I like it.
I'm a big fan of that.
You are? Oh, good.
Yep.
The next one is financial, is to live within your means and learn to manage your finances for the short and long term.
Yeesh.
This is hard. I don't think I'm the only one that struggles with this.
It is hard.
It's hard. I do want to live within my means, but I also want to be able to live a generous life. And sometimes I feel like those are opposites.
Massively. Especially depending on the works that you read out there. Have we touched on this before where I finished that book, You Are a Bad A?
SS.
Yes, thank you for finishing that for me. And Jen Sincero in that book talks a lot about overcoming your old stale ideas for money. Stop developing a relationship with money that resembles, a teenager and his parents. I love you. I hate you. I need you. I don't want you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she's very clear, in that sense. So if I'm living with abundance like that, that money is it's just energy. That's the big thing
Right.
that she talks over and over again. It's just energy. And we so are conditioned that it only comes by work. We have to do more. We have to do more. We have to hustle. We have to
Put more hours in.
Yeah, to deserve it and to receive it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So my husband and I are actually trying a little trick around this.
Oh.
I don't know if he's fully invested as much, but last night we were discussing another plan for a vacation this year. Both of us really like to travel. It's
That's
a big deal
awesome.
for us to travel
Yeah.
together or to just do things. And it can be very simple. All summer he wants to take weekend trips if we can to see, he has siblings all over.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not just here where we are in Utah. They're pretty much actually not here at all. So we'd have to go
Okay.
travel to visit people. And he lost his brother last year.
Oh, that's
So
right.
it's been a very, he just doesn't want those times to pass him by. He's very family guy, which is so fun because
Yeah.
I don't have to work extra hard for that. He supports that at all times. So anyways, we came up with this idea of what we want to do. I don't want to use this particular money for this trip. I want us to, how can we manifest this? Because she uses a trip as a very specific example. The money that you need for it, you don't have to go out and do one more thing to get and deserve this.
Okay.
And to make it. So I don't know. I'm
hooked.
I'm hooked too, but I just don't know how to do it. It's really interesting that that's one area that she talks about, because I hope this isn't too rabbit traily, but I am fascinated with like birth charts and astrology and okay, fine. If you, obviously the yoga teacher loves all that stuff, right? If you've been following us as well, then you know Liz is probably the kooky one that's interested in all that stuff. Nice. It's all good. I can be kooky. I can be the creepy old lady down the street with the cats and the read your palm stuff. It's fine. You'll come to me when you need something, okay? But anyways. Your second house in the astrology, like birth chart, whatever. I probably can't explain houses like I'm supposed to, but it rules how you perceive yourself, your self-worth, ego.
All right.
Not ego, your self-worth. Okay. Yes. Self-esteem, self-worth.
Okay.
And it's considered your finance house. And I was fascinated with how the two go together.
So meaning if you really love yourself, you have a lot of money?
I feel like the universe is telling us this.
Wow.
So we just need to love ourselves more, Chalene, and all the money's come.
All right.
I would think about successful people. Do they sit around like, man, I really suck? Do they?
No. It's like you see Oprah, and no offense to her, but she walks in, she's like, I'm here. Like, have you seen how she walks into a room?
It is no question to her that she has something to bring.
Yeah.
And she fully expects that there's going to be a return for what she's offering. The end. Like, I don't know if I have shown up like that in my life before. When I do, I have something happen, or I feel guilty, or then I start thinking too much about my bank account again. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and then I think when you do that, you are kind of coming from a lack.
Oh, absolutely.
And I feel like I was raised that way, not by any fault of anyone or anyone's maybe purposeful and ideas for that.
Those are important values that we hold as a country.
Right.
As a society. We come from post-depression era parents too.
Oh, that's true.
And that's a very real thing. When you are, did you read Grapes of Wrath? That was traumatizing. I have never felt so like I just completely misunderstood what a lot of folks might have experienced during the Great Depression. Obviously, that's a work of fiction.
Right.
But
I think there's a lot of truth to it.
It was meant to
capture
a very specific experience that a group of people were having. How do you hold space for that? If there is no food, there is no food. So then what? Right? So then what?
Yeah. I don't know. It's mystifying to me, actually, because I do struggle with that, thinking, okay, I've got it. I know a lot of people that are very, very good savers and, have investments.
Right. So if you're saving, are you living in a place of lack? Or are you living with
I
abundance?
don't know.
Is it just the intention behind it all the time? We could go all day long. Maybe we need to talk about this in a separate one.
Yeah, I think so. But anyway, so it's something that I'm exploring.
Okay.
And for
I'm curious to hear
goal,
what you learned from here.
I want to have 2 commas in my savings account. That's the one thing I could visualize for me.
Yeah.
2 commas.
2 commas. It's very real and tangible, huh?
That was the only thing that really came to my mind. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to come up with like a specific number necessarily. And maybe that's not good. Maybe I should have a specific number. So hopefully one day we will figure out the money thing, right?
Yeah, I'm going to have to read a few more books. She has a lot of suggestions in there, so I'm going to make a little
list. She has a money book.
Oh, she does?
She does.
Okay, I'm going to have to read that one.
Probably. I saw that. It's green.
It seems a little bit, is ethereal the right word? It's a concept that I can't quite grasp. Like it's just out floating in the nether regions and I'm trying to pull it in, pulling back on this kite string, and hopefully I'm going to eventually reel it in.
I hear you, sister. I'm this exact same. I was working with a life coach on this and it was, I could not wrap my brain around it. It was like too far for me to even, it's like this huge chasm between where that is and where I am at.
Yeah, we probably need a few steps between here and there, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So right now, the little chunk I'm going to bite off is that I'm just living with this idea that not only do I have enough, but more than enough.
True. And you're worthy of getting more.
Yeah.
Right? Or something. I don't know. Maybe that's not it. But so maybe on your
having
vision.
and sharing. Mm-hmm.
Maybe in your vision board, you should just do a copy of that book. Since you should read it or something.
It represents all the things.
Yeah.
I am a baddie.
You are. We all are. Okay. So the next one is intellectual.
Okay.
And it says to be open to new ideas, be creative, think critically, and seek out new challenges.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. I really do like that too. I love to learn. Hence the reason why I started this podcast. Yep. And I don't always do it in the construct of a classroom or a class, but I'm always curious and wanting to look up things. Thank goodness for Google, because
oh man,
like people ask me a question and I'm like, why did you not Google this? Google has an answer somewhere. We might have to dig a little deeper, but it has answers.
Oh man, if it's for people like me though, having to read through that many opinions or sift through that much information, it can be tricky.
Oh,
sometimes.
Really?
I'd rather, I actually do like to do some of that research on my own, but there is a point where I like to go to a source. And you must be a source for lots of us, you are a source.
Yeah, my friend called me Shagoogle for a while.
Oh, you are a Shagoogle. That's funny. Oh,
yeah, she'd ask me all the random questions and I'd find the answer for her somehow. I don't know. I was like, part of it's a know-it-all. I'm fine. It's good.
You can own that.
I can own that. What I decided for my goal is I would like to read 50 books by May 2020.
Cool.
Yeah. So all different kinds of books.
Somebody actually writes an article about that, what they learned from reading 50 books a year.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah. I actually really want to read his, I think for 7 years he did it or something.
Oh, that's cool.
It was on this website that I had to pay more for, and I didn't want to.
Oh, don't blame you.
I know.
But actually, I'm glad you said that because I think I do want to take notes. I think I would like to.
Like on the books you read?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't. Like, I have friends that are very active in Goodreads, and they have a book journals and stuff like that, and
Ooh, yeah, that's really...
I consider it good if I read it. But then I forget what I read and people ask me for book recommendations and I'm like, oh yeah, I know I read a book.
Have you kept at least a log in Goodreads of the books you've been reading?
Some of them.
Like updated your profile with all, yeah, you should.
I need to do it.
Do that so I can follow you. And then I don't have to keep trying. Every time I talk to Chalene, she has another book. And so I've started I have a note in my phone of when I can remember to put it in there of the books that Chalene recommends.
Gosh.
So I'm going to have to do that.
It's funny because I don't see myself as that. I think I'm a semi-avid because when I listen to other podcasts like, what's it called? What should we read? What should we read next? Have you heard of that?
It's a reading podcast, Chalene. They're naturally going to.
I know,
but... If we do this on a scale of 1 to 10.
I know, but I guess it's inspiring because they read so many books. There was one lady that wanted to read a book.
It's probably their job.
Yes, it is.
Okay,
I agree.
I'm just going to play devil's advocate. Do you want any more? I'll give you some more. I'm really good at this job.
Oh, but it's so inspiring. It gets me so excited. This one lady's reading books from every year starting in 1900.
Wait, what?
Yeah, a book published in every one of the
but just one.
Now. Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. Because I don't know if I could handle all those ones in the 1900s. Some of them are a struggle. Have you read The Count of Monte Cristo? I don't even know when that was written. It's probably not the 1900s. I still have not finished it.
Oh.
I tried for a solid 3 months. I know that's not that long, but I was like,
long.
It was so hard. I love the story, the movie version. They changed it a lot.
Well,
it worked for me.
I think that's the beauty of some books that people can weed out the story. Have you read A Christmas Carol?
Probably.
Well, my brother was
younger.
It was so good. It was so emotional. And when I read it, I was no, I far prefer the movies.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it's the way that Dickens writes or if it was just the way the story was laid out, but
it wasn't the same.
Give me Michael Caine and the Muppet version every year, and I will take that. That's like my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
I don't know. The book I didn't feel like had the same emotion behind it.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now I have to read it at Christmas time.
Yeah, you'll have to let me know.
I think it's just been too long if I've officially done it. I'm pretty sure I had to do it for a class, but it just can't capture what it was.
It's beloved, but yeah, anyway.
The story is good.
It is.
Well, I love that this is a category that she includes in the wheel because I think of I always find it fascinating that us humans love to be a little stagnant and have things be easy, but at the same time, we can't ever really stay there, right? Isn't that the maybe curse of being an intellectual being, of what it is to be human, that we just have to, I don't know, we have to think, we have to progress, we have to grow.
True.
Yeah. Yeah,
I don't think you really can stay. Do you think you can stay stagnant, really, and still move through life?
No.
I don't think so either.
I joke a little because my partner loves things to just, this is good. He's super okay with things kind of being as they are.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever watch the movie Stranger Than Fiction with Will Ferrell? Ugh. And it has Emma Thompson and it has all my favorites. Okay. So you have to watch it. It's on my top.
Is it really?
It is. I love Will Ferrell anyways, even though he's sorry, Will, you've kind of gone down a little bit. But anyhow, it's a good movie. It's a very serious role. And do you know the premise behind it?
I think you told me once, but.
Okay, really fast. He finds out he's in a live work of fiction. nonfiction. I don't know.
Okay.
Basically, Emma Thompson is the narrator to this book that suddenly he starts hearing her narrate his life. And he realizes he's also the character in her book. Super kind of whimsical, right?
Yeah.
And he goes to a shrink first and she's like, you have schizophrenia. And he's like, it's not. Where would you go if it wasn't schizophrenia? And she's like, well, I'd probably seek somebody who knows a lot about literature. So he finds this professor who happens to be Dustin Hoffman, also a favorite, right?
Okay.
I mean, anyways, he's eccentric, he's crazy, he's Tootsie. Whatever. Yeah, he's good stuff. And he tries to guide him through, well, you need to find out if you're in a comedy or a tragedy. Like, it's just such a cute thing. And basically, he finds out that he's probably going to die at the end because he hears this allusion to, that he will eventually die. And so he doesn't know how to turn it around. He goes, well, why don't you just not do anything tomorrow and see what happens? If the story progresses, then that this is really
I like
forward.
that.
Anyways, the whole point of that is that he goes home and he sits on his couch and he does not move for 24 hours. I will not move. I will not do anything. And then all of a sudden, this giant wrecking ball in the afternoon goes bulldozing through his apartment. And that's the story progressing. He could choose to do nothing, but everything still happens. And that's us, right? Like, we can't help that the story's going to move forward, whether we're in or not. So we can choose to participate or not.
Oh, wow.
That's a really long story.
No, I like it. I really want to watch it. Yeah, I think I might.
So we are humans that need intellectual stimulation.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And if we don't seek it out, it will find us.
It will find us like a bulldozer in the apartment. A bowling ball.
That is a very strong visual. Thank you.
It is. It wasn't a bulldozer. It was the big wrecking ball. That's the word. There you go.
Wow. I like it. The next one is occupational. Seek to have a career that is interesting, enjoyable, meaningful, and that contributes to the larger society.
Ooh,
wow. So I currently am not working. Liz is working.
I just teach yoga. That's not really like a career, is it?
I think so, actually. I do. Because...
and you're still a teacher.
Yeah, I'm still a teacher.
You are?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel about that?
I'm going to ponder that. I don't know.
It sounds like you're kind of hesitant to... Is it to commit to that being... occupation of your life or what?
I just have the sense that I'm not very active in that space right now.
Yeah.
Or in that area.
I think your activity is different looking. I mean, hello, what is this podcast called? What we learned this week.
Yeah.
And you were a teacher for how many years? And that was your degree? Like,
true.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm going to throw it out there. I'm going to let you sit with it.
I guess I assumed that it would be something to make money. Contribute to society.
Yeah.
Is kind of what it said at the end. So I'm like, I guess in my small way, I'm contributing to society, to the few people that decide to listen.
Thanks, Mom.
Yes, thank you, everyone, actually. But I just put to like expand the podcast. I'm sorry to keep going back to this, but this is on my brain right now.
It's a big deal for you.
Yeah. And to kind of work on marketing. And that's something I don't really understand, that world. My husband is in marketing.
Mm-hmm.
But marketing myself doesn't feel very...
authentic?
No, just not comfortable. It's weird.
Oh, yeah. It's all energy.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta put yourself out there. You need to be an Oprah in your own life. I'm here.
That's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's really wise, actually.
What was the affirmation story you told us last week where the guy like stood up every day in a Superman pose?
Oh, yeah. In the shower?
Yeah.
I am awesome.
I'm amazing.
Good point.
I think we need to do that in our lives more, right?
I think so. Yeah. I think you just see those narcissists in your life and you're like, I don't want to be that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we always go to the extreme, right?
I know. Why do we do that? We're not all going to be the crazy lady posting every single thing that happens.
So, Liz, just off the top of your head, is there something occupational that you've thought about or have a goal
I have
towards?
a really big secret.
Okay.
I'm afraid to say it out loud. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Actually, I don't know if I should, because what if it happens and what if I really suck?
Do it.
I would love... The first time I watched a TED Talk, I was like, I want to do that.
Oh, I like it.
No, I don't like it. I've never talked in front of that many people. I still have my hands shake when I talk to you on the podcast.
Okay, but how many people are really in the audience at a TED Talk? It's
like a bajillion.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You can hear all the claps. Like 50 people laugh.
They have machines that clap.
Oh, I hate you. I have no idea, actually. I thought all TED Talks were supposed to be like this big thing.
I don't know. When I look at it, the stage is not big.
I don't know why. I don't know why I want to do that at all. I just want to share. It's kind of probably like what drove you to the podcast thing.
It is.
And I think the stories are funny and we need to see each other's faces. You can hear us, but can you see our faces? I'm very animated right now. Ask Chalene. There's all kinds of wrinkles around my eyes. They're bulging. I'm serious. It's my serious face. We need that.
Oh. And I think to the other end of that, I really believe that everyone wants to be heard.
They do. We do.
In whatever way. Some people do it through their actions. Some people do it through their actual words.
And sometimes when we connect with others, does that somehow make us feel heard, even if we're not the one speaking it?
I don't know.
I feel that sometimes.
You do?
I do. If someone says something that really resonates with me, somebody out there is speaking my truth, and I can somehow I align with it, and it feels, I don't know. Yeah.
I agree with that. That's awesome. I think that is a great goal. I'm glad you said it out loud. Gives power to it.
Okay, you guys just stuff it away. You don't have to really,
We're just going to wait. We're going to keep tuning in. I'm going to keep popping up on Facebook, seeing if it pops up. So the next one is physical, and that one is kind of a given, or not a given, but that I already understood.
Wait, did you tell us what your occupational one is, though? Like how you, like your little, come on, you got to have a little, you don't have to say it out loud.
No, it's okay.
I shared mine. Who says they want to be on a TED Talk?
I think I said I want to be better at marketing.
Oh, okay.
It's just kind of embarrassing of like, can you pay me for talking into a microphone?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why that's embarrassing, but
I don't know why it's embarrassing. Yeah. People pay other people to clean people's teeth.
So physical.
Yeah. Let's get back on track.
Let's get back to physical.
Let's get physical. Physical?
Yeah. Thank you, Olivia.
You're welcome.
Take care of your body for optimal health and functioning. And I think most people are aware of this and usually have some sort of goal.
Sure.
Do you agree with that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's an easy one. Isn't that what was the trifecta you were talking about? The
mental, physical, spiritual.
Yeah. So that's one that's pretty common. Mm-hmm. I think we all kind of, those are the easy ones, right? Like, I'm going to eat better. I'm going to exercise more. I'm going to whatever. Get on target. Mm-hmm.
And I think one of the main things I've noticed with myself, and I hope I can explain it the right way, but, say we fall off the wagon. Mm-hmm. One meal and we're like, well, screw it. I'm just going to eat the whole day.
Thank you for saying that. I have been struggling with this all or nothing concept, and it shows up there for us a lot, don't you think?
Oh, yeah.
I ate crappy for this one thing, so I might as well not bother the rest of the day. That's actually, I really feel strongly that that's a lack of balance. You're allowed to have a cookie or your Diet Coke. Like, no one said that that's bad. So once we've labeled it as bad, right?
Right.
Then all of a sudden we're on the other side. Yeah, we're off the wagon.
And I think too,
we have to punish ourselves or something.
Yes. I really do think that our brains are more powerful than we realize sometimes. Mm. And if we're constantly labeling a food as bad, I think that there is a possibility that our brain can treat it as bad.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's real science or if that's just in my mind, but
if you go with intuitive eating and some of those other concepts, it kind of follows.
Does it?
Yeah.
Yeah, why train your brain to believe that?
I don't know.
But we do. We have these rules. I think a lot of us have rules in our head about food.
Everything.
Yeah.
I want to be told what to do.
Right.
Yeah.
And we search out people to tell us, and we keep searching till we hear what we want to hear, right?
Yeah. Should Google.
Yeah, there's a million things out there. But for me, I just want to maintain an exercise routine. But it's interesting that you said that. I do want to learn intuitive eating. I have a friend of mine that we are so tired of counting and feeling
like counting calories, counting macros, what are you
everything,
counting?
All of it.
Yeah, just all of it.
Because I've done all of it. I've done it for so many years. Yeah, I've done Weight Watchers, and all of those programs are actually great. Sure. I just started feeling so burdened with all of these rules that it made eating not fun anymore.
Yeah, and we love food. We need food, but food's a big part of the things that you love to create it. You love to share it. You love to prepare it, right?
Yeah. I was operating, same with money, from a place of lack. Oh, I probably need to eat this cookie right now and maybe even 5 more because tomorrow I can't. I'm going to start my diet or whatever. And that's not a good philosophy to operate from. I don't feel good.
That one doesn't serve me either. I love a little cookie every day. That's my thing. I'd rather eat my calories. Not even dark chocolate. It's a chocolate chip cookie. That's it.
Semi-sweet or milk?
Semi.
Thank you.
I know. I can't do
I'm so proud of you.
Thanks. I'm glad that I
have very strong feelings about chocolate chip cookies, so.
Oh, I love that.
Very strong feelings. Inappropriately. No, not inappropriate. It's very appropriate in my world. Okay. The next one is social. To build personal relationships with others, deal with conflict appropriately, and connect to a positive social network.
Wow.
I feel like I'm a social person.
I think so.
The one thing I did want to really work on is boundaries within social media. I noticed that when I look on Instagram for, I would say a couple times a day for, even more than 10 minutes, I do start to feel this like vacuum of my soul.
Oh.
I don't even know how else to explain it, but I start feeling bad about myself. I feel like I have to start buying all of these things to be accepted, to be a person.
Or doing all these things. Yeah. I always feel that. It's the doing for me.
Is it the doing?
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's like, I got to buy those clothes because that's so cute and my clothes are weird. Or that makeup's going to make my skin look so much better. All of those things. And I just feel really inadequate in almost every area of my life. And I don't want to feel that way.
Yeah. So for you, does that just mean curating a social media? What is it for you? Is it creating boundaries differently, or is it curating who you follow? I just saw a post about this the other day where some girl was like, stop following people you don't care about, or that doesn't, you know what I mean? Like we think we have to, well, I talk to them in the hall at school or whatever. I don't know. I work with them, so I'm supposed to follow them. Why? Because if you don't want to follow all their other stuff too, and it doesn't make you feel good, I don't know. Yeah. Is that part of it?
I think so. I think that's part of it for me. Part of it, is coming from a business aspect of like, I need to be involved in social media.
Yeah, we can't avoid it. It's part of our lives.
Yeah. I really actually I had 2 Instagram profiles, and one was just family and a few close friends.
Oh, that's cool.
I really did want to keep up with those people because out of sight, out of mind is a real thing to me.
Sure.
I struggle with that. So for me, that was good. But at the same time, then I was like searching other things. Okay. So I think for me, it's probably going to have to be time limits and really being strict with myself on that for my well-being, recognizing that it's not something that I'm keeping myself from because it's fun, but really protecting myself.
That time passes so fast. I actually remember the other night I was like, okay, I'm going to get on for 10 minutes. And then somehow I really did get sucked into something I started looking for. And it had been legit 40 minutes. And I was like, how did that happen? I've never been like that.
You haven't noticed. Ever? What?
No, I really.
Good for you.
I don't know. Probably same relationship with finances. I have a love-hate with social media too. I love you. I need you. I hate you. Go away.
You're right.
Teenagers. I don't know. I've apparently never really graduated from that since I was 14. Ask my parents. I said the same thing. It just happened. It got away from me really quickly. Have you ever gone into it with, I'm obsessed with intentions. I talk about them way too much, probably. But have you ever done it with like a different intention when you go in so that it's a different feeling when you start? No. When I go on, I'm there for a purpose. Like I am truly trying to find out what's going on in other people's lives. Oh my gosh, I didn't know this happened. And there was a period I had like 3 friends that had a baby and it was all at once. And I knew they were going to have a baby soon. But when I saw all the little feeds, right, it was like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that I got to be a part of this.
Oh.
I was there for a purpose. I wanted to find out how it was going with this birth and did they make it okay and how are they feeling? And I sent them a follow-up message and just stuff like that so that I could feel connected to those types of very specific things. But when I go on just to board or shoot the shells, shoot the birds. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Just a thought.
No, and actually, I have been going on to respond to people on our posts for the podcast more purposefully for that reason or to find people.
We want to connect to our audience. Yeah.
And that does help because I feel more proactive instead of reactive.
Yes. And maybe that's the difference. Maybe that's all I'm talking about, right? We can get the word intention out of there.
That's fine. It's a good word. It's a great word.
Let's put it to the side.
So thinking of that, do you have a social goal that you could think of?
Probably not. I think I'm kind of in the same ballpark as you. I would want to make sure that I just keep some of those healthy boundaries there. Because I do want to continue to make that a part of my life. And I know it's a part of our life. So we have to some degree.
Even to check up on our kids too.
Okay. My kids don't have social media yet. I'm really mean.
My son doesn't want it.
I have only boys. And so far they have said they don't want it either. But I do have to keep up on like their text messages and like little things where I said, okay, I'll just randomly go in and I'll ask for my oldest's phone and he'll, try and keep it away from me. I'm like, look, you should always be able to hand me your phone. I should be able to look at it at any time and there's nothing that you'd want to hide from me.
True.
And that's the rule of our phones. And so I've tried to create the same standard. Yeah. I've tried to create the same standard for myself. I've been very possessive, don't touch my phone, don't touch my phone. But I forget that we also don't have a home phone. They don't have any other way to communicate with friends and to send text messages, my younger ones, especially that don't have a device or something, right? So it does need to be a place where I'm more open about what we're sharing. And I don't know. Anyways, so for social, I would think the only thing I could truly come up with that I've actually been thinking of in the back of my head is I want our family to work a little bit harder on maybe being inclusive or friendly to other people. So it's a non-social media related one. It would actually be more real connection with people.
That's awesome. We have 2 more. Spiritual, to find meaning in life events, demonstrate individual purpose, and live a life that reflects your values and beliefs.
I love that.
Yeah. I really actually wanted to get more meaningful prayer and really not just do the same thing every time, but just really try and create a relationship with God.
That's cool.
Yeah. How about you? That
one's tricky for me.
You're going to
a little bit. I'm in just an interesting place on my spiritual path. I realized currently that I've been in an angry space.
All right.
Where I've just wanted to reject a lot of things that were familiar or traditional for my upbringing and my particular religious background. And I just had an inkling today that I don't think I want to be in the angry space anymore. Angry was a really good place for me to be able to take a step back and identify what has been bothering me or what I do need to protect or to grow and nurture right now. And I think I'm getting to a point where I actually want to purposefully go out and seek it. Oh, like seek the things that are going to nurture me. It's funny how growth, oh man, we could talk about this all day. This is where I get excited. I love growth. I love what it looks like in humans. I love talking about it. I love sharing it. I hate it when I'm in it. As per our conversation before the podcast, we have to have a pre-conversation, folks, because this doesn't just come from, I don't know, we tried once or twice to just show up and record. We need time to talk first. Like there's a relationship that has to be here before we just stick our face on a microphone.
True.
There just is. For me especially, I got to connect with Chalene and I make her put the little spit screen down so I can see her eyeballs. The whole time. Poor thing is probably like, that's the most uninterrupted eye contact I've had for an hour. Go away. By the end, that's another little rabbit trail. But anyways, my point is just that I'm finding, I think I'm ready to choose with more study and purpose what really feeds and nourishes my spirit right now, rather than what's been handed to me, but also not being angry about it anymore either. There's I just stumbled on my quote again from, I believe it was from this amazing, she's a female rabbi, actually. Okay. And I stumbled on her section of a podcast right before I went on my trip to, I want to say it was right before, it might have been right after I went to Africa. And she talks about the need to leave where we came from and the importance of spiritual pilgrimage, especially, and that leaving and physically going somewhere is not only so important because of the physical realm in which we leave and do something, but how much it can help our spirits grow because we, in a very real way, experience the world leaving our comfort zone, but also returning back to ourself, blah, blah, blah. And she just reminds us that spirituality is imperative. Having a religious context for that spiritual growth, in her mind's eye, is imperative for real growth because it gives us a boundary. It gives us, again, an actual context from which to do that. Anyways, the freedom that I have gotten from that statement, and also her reminder, one of her next statements was that there's no perfect system. Every system is going to have its flaws. Oh, and true. I mean, this is coming from somebody who teaches for her religion. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like she's a leader. She's a guide. She's a mentor. She's all these things. And she recognizes that the systems are not necessarily perfect. Anyway, so it's given me it's given me a lot of freedom to be able to step back and truly, I guess what that means is I get to create my own spiritual journey.
Yeah.
And I get to do it in a way that serves me best. So I'm on the fringe.
I love it.
Yeah, you got a big answer on that question.
I love it. Thank you for sharing that. And the last one is emotional. Have a positive attitude, high self-esteem, a strong sense of self, and the ability to recognize and share it with a wide range of feelings with others in a constructive way.
So you need to Oprahify your life.
Yeah.
Stand there and I'm here.
Yeah. And for me, I kept it kind of simple as I just want to be able to react with love. Not react with fear, not react with anger. Just...
Oh, I'm going to steal that one. Can I steal that one?
Yeah.
It's so simple. I don't want a big, long, lengthy story like the last one. Sorry.
I
love that.
Thanks. You know, I've noticed so much in my life that, and we did talk about this before, is that you kind of react to another person's experience with what you're going through.
Yes.
And it's just judgment. It's just all judgment, and it feels horrible because it feels horrible to yourself. You don't have a good feeling towards the other person. Yeah. And nothing good really comes from it. You think that good's going to come from it. Mm-hmm. You think that, if I judge that, then I can change. Well, really,
or protect myself because this is comfortable to be where I am and they must be wrong. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I've noticed it doesn't make me any happier, any more at peace, nothing.
Good for you.
So it's been a goal of mine actually for probably the last 6 months to really focus on loving others where they're at and loving myself where I'm at, you know, kind of like my mom reminded us a few podcasts ago. But I feel so much better.
Do you?
I do.
That is awesome.
I really do. And in turn, it kind of benefits me.
Yeah.
You know, benefits
and those around
others.
you.
Yeah.
Your family and me.
Yeah.
It's benefited me a lot.
Oh, you're sweet. So anyway, that's all of the wheel.
Okay.
And so I'm just going to try and find pictures.
Okay.
I don't know if this is what she meant, but this is what I'm going to do.
Okay.
Find pictures that represent that. Also, she had us write down some items on a bucket list.
Okay.
And then put pictures of those on as well. I'd like to put
So they're all on the same vision board. Okay.
Yeah. I want to go to the beach. I really want to take a tap class.
Really?
I do.
That's cool.
I know. My friends in another city, there was a lady, I think she was like in her 70s, and she taught the tap class.
Oh my gosh.
And they would talk about how much of a workout it was and how fun it was. And the high school around here did White Christmas. Mm-hmm. And so they had to do some tap numbers. And they took tap lessons
too.
Yeah. And I was like, who is your teacher? I just really want to take an adult tap class.
That's so cool.
I don't know if it exists around here or not, but that is a bucket list of mine. Do you have a bucket list?
Well, since you're talking about dancing, I want to take a strip class.
Oh, you do?
I do. Like
a pole dancing class or like...
Maybe both. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if I could do the pole because I don't have one in my house, but I'd really love to be able to do like a successful striptease.
Wow. That's bearing your soul right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just need to make sure my face doesn't always look wonky and silly. Like
I know.
Seriously, I'm pretty sure that when I give the seductive face, it looks like I have something in my eye. I don't think it's going the way that it needs to or whatever. And they're supposed to be very, it's supposed to be very physical too.
Yeah. It's funny that you say that because I was thinking the other day, I certified to teach a hip-hop dance class.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, that's also on my list of dream dance classes.
Really?
Yeah,
and so at the end of the class, we had to go up to the mirror and practice our pimp face.
No, you didn't.
We did. I could not do it. I kept looking at myself being like, who are you?
It's so inappropriate. Can we use a different word? It's so
Sorry.
offensive.
Well, is it offensive? Okay, so we had to practice our hardcore face.
Okay, I like that one.
Yeah. And I just kept looking at myself in the mirror being like...
Did they use that word for real? That is so awesome.
I think so. Oh, come on. We come from little cities. They don't even know what that is.
Possibly. Just kidding.
I don't know what else to say. I guess I just think like a streetwise face when I say that. I don't mean like...
Hardcore's good.
Okay. Anyway, I have tried and tried and tried, and I just feel like I look like an idiot. And so maybe it is, you have to really come to terms with how you feel on the inside, feeling that way on the inside and then it translates.
Yeah. Are you hardcore?
No.
Me either.
I look
like the biggest softie ever. Except if I get really, really mad about an injustice. Maybe that's where you have to like pull it from or something. I'm like, can I be really mean about that? I can get mad sometimes in service.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I
like
can see that.
It's not fair somewhere.
Like think of like a feminist reason to get mad.
Oh, yeah.
I picture my audience as all men.
Yeah.
I love you, Steve. So I'm just going to make pictures of all of that stuff. And then she also had to come up with quotes and affirmations. And so I'm going to put some of those. For me, it was easier to do like one word things, kind of like Liz was talking about quite a few episodes ago. The couple words.
Soul, goals with soul.
Yeah. And then she had New Year's goals, but I felt like what I did already was enough.
Mm-hmm.
And then she also has some like printables you can do that are affirmations.
Oh,
and they're super cute. So thank you to Dee. I really appreciated this because I did not know how to start or where to start. And this gave me such a good framework for my vision board.
This is great.
That's my goal this week, is to get that done.
I'm really excited to try it out for myself too.
Are you going to do it?
I'm totally going to do it.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that might be my quiet Saturday morning activity instead of maybe even Miracle Morning. I love this kind of stuff. I just never found something that always quite resonates as well or I don't always stick with something. I start a lot of different processes and then it peters out at the end. So
I think that's just enjoying the journey.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's why there's so many things out there, because I think it's just reinvented versions of other things. And
oh my gosh, it just is, right?
Freshen it up. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And we just seek it when we need it and want it, and then it's good to go.
Yeah. Amen, sister.
I like it.
Yes.
Do you have a question of the week for us?
I did have a question of the week, and I'm so sorry because it deals with books again and movies.
That is funny.
That's my life. So if there was a book that you could make into a movie, what would it be? Is there a book that you've read that you're like, I just want to watch this on screen?
I just read one. We just talked about it the other day. All the different families experiencing World War II differently.
And we were the lucky ones.
We were the lucky ones. That's the most recent one I've read that I wouldn't mind seeing in a movie.
I think actually it would make more sense because when I read that, there were so many names and they weren't English names. For some reason, I feel like a lot of foreign names have lots of vowels in them. And I don't know why I feel that. I know definitely with like Polynesians. And to me, that is like, honestly, it's like a different language, like different letters. I don't even recognize it because it's so hard for me to understand how to pronounce it. Maybe because I'm such a teacher in phonics, rule my world, I guess. Yeah, it was really hard for me to keep those names straight. So I think having a face would definitely make it more of an enjoyable experience for me because I kept having to go and refer to that family tree at the beginning of the book. Oh. Do you remember that? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I like that. I think that would be...
Yeah, that one was good.
Pretty intense. And plus there's...
Oh, it would be way... Yeah,
all Holocaust movies, I guess, are pretty intense.
Yeah. But it just was such a neat story. I was so touched by her experiences.
Oh, yeah.
I just was. And what these women... Honestly, it was the women. What the women could live through. Ugh.
Like the childbearing and the...
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. I mean, one of them, she went to a Siberian work camp. I think she got pregnant when she was there. Was she pregnant before she went? No. Do you remember?
She might have just barely gotten pregnant.
Oh my gosh. And
do you remember she had to like spray the breast milk in the baby's eyes because they were frozen and shut in the morning?
Oh my gosh, I died. Seriously, like all of it. And managed to feed this baby and keep it alive and herself on a bowl of gruel a day at a work camp, performing labor with her husband the whole time. When I was pregnant, could not do that. No way.
You could if you had to.
Maybe, but just looking back, right? Like, pregnant and nursing? No. Nope.
Oh, that
I ate the bonbons and laid on the couch. That's how I did.
Lies. I don't believe that.
All right, fine. What about you?
One of my favorite authors. And her name is Jeanette Rawlinson. She's not huge, but I love all the books she writes.
I've never heard of her.
You haven't? Mm-mm. She writes a lot of young adult novels.
Okay.
More in that genre. And she wrote one called My Fair Godmother.
Oh.
Well, it's about two sisters. Something bad happens with a boyfriend, and she's calling for help. One of the sisters ends up calling for help, and she gets this fairy godmother. And the fairy godmother did not get very good grades in fairy godmother school, so she keeps messing up.
Oh my gosh, that's
all
hilarious.
of these wishes. It's so funny.
That would be me.
And it has to do with fairy tales. I think she ends up going back and with Rumpelstiltskin, she has to spin Strata Gold. She doesn't know how to do it. She's in this story. Anyway, it was just so interesting. I thought that would be really fun to see. On the big screen.
Yeah. And it could be family friendly. It's cute.
It's very family friendly and a little bit of romance. I really like it.
Okay. So. Well, thanks for sharing. And thank you for what you learned this week. You've inspired me to create a real vision board and not one I just fall asleep to. I mean, meditate on in visual fashion in a reclined...
With your eyes closed.
With my eyes closed. In a reclined pose. Oh. I love it.
Yeah, please respond on Facebook or Instagram what your book movie would be. We'd love to hear.
We would love to hear.
Yeah, and give us a rating if you feel so inclined. We would love it.
And stay tuned for some pretty exciting announcements over the next couple weeks.
Oh, yeah.
We've got something brewing. It's pretty darn exciting.
It is exciting.
Pretty dang exciting. And keep learning.
Because it does matter. Thanks.